Hey guys, what is up? My name is Brienne and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming at you with a book review. For today's book review, I will be going over some of my thoughts and opinions of The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw, one of my latest reads. Okay, for this book review, I would like to start by saying I was close to DNFing this book a few times in the beginning. Not because I didn't like it, but I was really excited to get to this marathon read of my favorite author's works, and I told myself I would finish all of my May reads before I got to that, and so I just continued with this, and I'm kind of happy I did because I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars, being nice. There were some things in here that I just didn't enjoy. And to start off with, I think it was because I had a bias opinion going in, because the story to me sounded kind of like Hocus Pocus, and it's probably just because they didn't give us a lot of information about the plot itself, but the aspect of it being 3 sisters who were cursed because they were killed for being witches just reminded me a lot of Hocus Pocus, and I'm a major fan of Hocus Pocus because I grew up watching the movie, but this book wasn't like it. I just really didn't like the aspect of it. I didn't like the ending. The ending felt like a cop-out where the book itself could have been longer and it could have been a more intricate and well-designed plot. Don't get me wrong, the plot in this is really well thought out, but there could have been more to it. And I really think I just think this because it is aimed for younger readers than me, because I got this my freshman year and I just picked it up. So I think if I was still a freshman when I read this, I would have loved it and I would have raved over it. But since I'm older, my taste in books have changed and I've come to love a more in-depth and intricate storyline. So there was that aspect of it. And then I didn't really like the aspect of they didn't know who the third sister was, and I guessed within the first maybe 50 pages that it was either the main character or her best friend, and I ended up being right. But the ending was really kind of just sewn up so nicely. You don't really want to know more about them or anything like that. So I think there could have been some more depth into that, or made the ending more, I don't know, like there was more at stake, because it was really just the main character's life that was at stake, nothing else. And I would have liked to see what would have happened if the third sister had stayed in Penny's body. Like, what would that have done with the other 2 sisters? Would they be forced back into the bodies that they stole for the season? Would the third sister still feel the need to kill people? I don't know. But I would have liked to see it in that aspect, or I would have liked to seen the mystery of Penny's father be something more than it was. Because Penny's father, basically, Penny killed him, but it wasn't Penny, it was the third sister, because the third sister has inhabited Penny's body for the past 3 years. And so, I don't know. I just always think, what if we got more of one thing? And I would have liked to know more about Beau's family, because you only really hear about his brother. Like, I get it, his parents own a winery, and they wanted to try and act like his brother's death never happened. But what else? Like, why would they act like that? Why did they have a winery? Why was Beau the one who was supposed to stay and take over the winery? Or why did they let the oldest supposed to be the one to go and do everything instead of Beau? Like, I want to see that kind of family dynamic. And I would have liked a little more explanation on Penny's mother as well, because she was all over the place, and you get really maybe 2-3 interactions with her directly, and they're not even long ones. Like, I get it, like, she's crazy and lost in her grief for her husband, but why don't we get more of her? Like, that would have been something really interesting to explore on, but I would have liked a little more romance in here too, because it comes off in the synopsis like it's supposed to be a lot of a romance between Penny and Beau, and then there's not really any until like in a 200-page count, and I would have liked to see more of that, because there wasn't much of it. Like, there wasn't much of anything in here. It was all just sewn up really nicely with like a little bow, no issues, no problems, no real world issues left for them at the end. And it's just, I don't know, it's something that I think could have been expanded on entirely. Like, if she expanded this book, it would not have been so thin. Like, it's barely 300 pages. And I get it, that's a lot of pages, but it could have been more, and there could have been a lot more explanation to everything. There could have been a lot more mystery and intrigue and romance. But because of that, that's why I gave it the 2.5, 3 stars, because the writing was really good. For the age group it's aimed at, it was really nicely written, and I couldn't complain about that. But I just wanted more throughout the novel. There was nothing really keeping me hooked and interested in reading, other than the fact that I told myself I was going to finish this before I could marathon my favorite author's books as rereads. So I do recommend this for freshmen and sophomores in high school, because it does tell a really good story, and it's aimed more for that age group, sometimes even 8th graders, but I would not necessarily recommend it for upperclassmen or people in college, unless they are really interested in the culture of witches and curses, because this does a good job with that and explaining it and explaining the history of it as well. So, alright guys, that was it for today's video. Please let me know if you guys had any differing thoughts on The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw, and let me know in the comments down below books that you were okay reading, but you know you would have liked if you read them when you were younger. And as always, please don't forget to like and subscribe.